I was 4 years old when the world decided it didn't quite know what to do with me. 4. Old enough to remember, but too young to understand why mom and dad couldn't. So the state had papers, and strangers had opinions, the system had labels, problem child, special ed, medication, and the little bus. And a rotation of buildings with names like boys' homes or facilities, places where the doors lock from the outside and people write reports about a kid who just wanted someone to stay. 15 years. In and out of programs, diagnoses, charts, behavior plans, pills that made the world fuzzy and silence louder. But there was one constant, my grandmother. When I was 4, she reached in the wreckage of my life and said, "Nope, that one's mine." And I don't know if she knew what she was signing up for, because I was not an easy kid. Angry, confused, broken in places that people couldn't see. But she never gave in, not once. Not even when the calls came from schools, not when the calls came from facilities, and not when the doctors talked about me like I was a project instead of a boy. She stood there, a small woman, strong spine, holding the line between a world that had already decided what I was going to become. And in all those years, I only ever saw her cry once. Just once. I walked in and she thought no one was watching. And that moment has stayed with me my entire life, because even through her pain, through her exhaustion, through a life that had probably asked far too much of her, she never made me feel like I was too much. Then time did what time always does. It started stealing things from her. Her memories first. Names, days, the sharpness of her mind. Dementia is a cruel thief, and it takes pieces of the people we love and leaves their bodies behind. But here's the thing. Through all of it, through the confusion, through forgetting, there was one thing her mind refused to let go of. Me. Even when the world around her started fading, and then came the end. Months without a word. Months of silence. The doctors said she likely would never speak again. So I went to see her. And when she saw me, something lit up. Like a lights flipping back on in a house that everyone thought was empty. And she started talking, and not just a little, I'm talking hours, stories, memories, laughter. And we talked like the years hadn't taken anything, like the fog had lifted just long enough for her to find me again. And a few hours later, she would pass. And maybe it's just me telling myself this, but it felt like she was waiting for me, waiting for the boy she chose when the world didn't. And on that same day, our old cat, Bandit, 20 years old, Bandit had been through everything, through the chaos, the boys' homes, the years that I came back, and the years that I disappeared again. And Bandit would curl up on her lap the same day, the same lap that held me together when I was falling apart, and Bandit would pass on that same day. Like even the cat knew his shift was over. And people say time heals. They say you move on. But living without her is the most painful thing I have ever been through. And it feels like something inside me is always dying. And if I could trade places, if I could give my life for hers, I would. Without hesitation, without fear. And that's because the world deserved more time with her. But I will not regret the pain. And I will not regret the memories. And I will not regret the nights where grief sits on my chest like a weight that I cannot move, because every bit of that pain means that I had her. And if love means living the rest of my life reaching for someone who is no longer there, then I will keep reaching every day, every memory, every breath. And so people talk about angels like they have wings, like they glow, like they float around in paintings. But my angel had wrinkles, tired hands, and stubborn love that refused to give up on a broken kid. She wasn't perfect. She was better than that. She stayed. And if I became anything in this life, anything worth remembering, it will be because when the world said, "We don't know what to do with this boy," one woman stepped forward and said, "I do." And I am grateful and I am thankful, because some people spend their whole lives searching for an angel, and I got to call mine grandma. If the world ever wonders what happened to that 4-year-old boy they didn't know what to do with, the answer's simple. He survived because she chose him. Thank you.